everyone, I'm Noelle, and this video has been a long time coming. I have been promising this one for a while. This is the comparison of my breast pumps. So I am now 4 months postpartum and have been exclusively pumping since around 2 months, but I actually started pumping day 2 in the hospital because my daughter was losing weight and yada yada. That's all my other updates. When I started pumping in the hospital, they had me start with a Medela Symphony, which is of course their hospital grade pumps, and they give you just the kit with the flanges and the tubes and connectors and everything, and that you take home with you because those are one-time use. The Symphony is a hospital grade, so it's a closed system. Multiple people can use it without anything getting contaminated. So when I came home from the hospital, I had all of those supplies, but at home I had a Medela Pump and Style Advanced, the little one in a box that a friend had given me that she had used for about 2+ years. And she had the whole set in the Metro tote, but I had to buy my own extra set of tubing and connectors and adapters and yada yada. Basically all the accessories, because of course she wasn't going to give me her accessories. So unbeknownst to me, I didn't really do a lot of research into it beforehand, but when I went home to start using it, one of the little things where you put the tube in, you put 2 tubes in, I don't know what it's called, on the faceplate to do double pumping. One of them had broken and or was loose, I think, and so there was really poor suction on that side, and when I started using it, basically after a day or so, it was one terrible suction, so I was not pumping very much, and it eventually broke off. So about, let's see, when I got home from the hospital, the day after I got home, I actually went out and had my husband buy a new Pump and Style Advanced, and I got the one in the tote bag. So this has this zipper down flap, and your pump is in this little corner. It's not made to take out, although you can take it out, but it's not completely covered, so it's supposed to stay in the bag, which is great. I love this bag. It's a beautiful bag. It's just got room in the middle for your bottles and your accessories. It has this pocket in the back to store stuff. It has 2 pockets on the side. It has this little mesh pocket here for your tubing that you take in and out. It's wonderful, and I loved this setup. But I don't love this pump. When I started using it, nobody told me how to pump. So I started using it and I turned it up to max. And so my daughter had a terrible latch. She caused a lot of pain, and I caused a whole heck of a lot of damage. So yeah, I was in excruciating pain. Pumping was terribly painful. I ended up trying to do it on minimum, and even that was painful. I don't like the style of Medela pumps, and they're very strong suction, and for some people that is better. It's a very strong pulling even on the minimum setting. They do have this let down button, which is great. You can do, when you turn it on, I do like that it has the automatic let down for, like, I don't know if it's 3 minutes, and then it goes into expression mode, and then if you want to try to get another let down, you can press the let down button. I think that's fabulous. I do like how easily this little thing moves to do one side pumping. That's something that I have utilized because I do have a slacker side that sometimes needs a little bit more special attention than the other side. It has the little plug here for your AC adapter. It has the but the battery pack little adapter that also goes in there, so you can run it on a battery pack or the 9-volt That's really great. The downside is how expensive this was. I believe, I'm not sure if I paid full price. It may have been on sale. But I was looking up today and it was $269 at Target, which is where we got it. I'm not sure if I paid that much or not, but that is a whole heck of a lot of money. And yes, it did come with all the accessories. It came with the cooler bag and bottles and, you know, all of the stuff you need. But still, that is really expensive. So I was doing okay with this, and up until around, I don't remember, a month and a half, 2 months, somewhere around then, I was using this the majority of the time. The first couple of weeks I was mostly nursing and sometimes pumping, and then it was just like more pumping, more pumping, more pumping, less nursing. Yeah. I do not recommend Medela anymore though. I know that it works for some people, but it's not my first choice anymore. I asked some advice from other women who had exclusively pumped, what they suggested. One of them suggested getting and investing in a Spectra pump. I had never heard of Spectra. I had just gotten Medela because that was what everybody got. And so I looked up Spectra and I got mine off of Amazon for about $120, I believe, which compare $269, $120, yeah. It is a hospital grade pump, and the difference between Spectra and Medela, our Spectra actually uses the little slogan that their pumps don't suck, they suckle. And they suckle. It's supposed to more mimic a baby's suck, and it also has more customizable options. So for me, Spectra has been my saving grace. I love this pump. I will never use Medela again. If I have a second child, I will be taking this pump to the hospital with me because I do not want to use a Symphony. Even though the Symphony is better than the puppet style, I will not ever touch one of those again. So, the suckle basically is a vibrating function, and to some people they hate it. It's not good. They don't respond to it. It's a weird feeling. It still is a weird feeling, but it works. When you first turn it on, the weird thing about Spectra is that it starts in expression mode, not letdown mode. I don't understand that. But this little button above the power button switches back and forth between letdown and expression. This over here is your cycles. You can go up in cycles or down in cycles. Letdown mode is 70, cycle 70. You can't change that. You can only increase the vacuum from 1 to 5 in letdown mode. I generally turn it on to letdown mode and go from 1 to 5, approximately changing vacuum speed every 30 to 60 seconds, and that seems to work well for me. And then I'll go into expression mode, and I like it on cycle 38, but you can go from speed, it's cycle speed 38 is the strongest, not strongest, but the more slow pull, up to 70, which is in letdown mode, which is the really fast pull. And then you can do vacuum 1 to 10 in expression mode. I never go higher than a 6. That's just what I found works for me. Everybody has a different thing that works for them, but as you can see, that is definitely more adjustable than the Pisa, the puppet style advanced. It's just a knob on the puppet style, whereas here you can like actually see buttons and go up and down, and it's just, I don't know, more programmable. The other thing that I absolutely love is you see this little digital screen. That's where you see your numbers of the cycles and vacuum, but it also has a timer, so it starts with 0 seconds and it goes up to 30 minutes when it automatically shuts off. I love that feature. It's probably one of my favorite features besides the way that it suckles. I usually do pump for about 30 minutes. Sometimes I can do 25. A lot of times I'll have to go to 35, sometimes 40 to even 60 early in the morning, my first pump of the day. But I do try to stick right around 30 minutes. And so having that on there means I don't have to constantly be looking at my clock and looking at my watch, and you know, it's right there, and it cuts you off, and it's great. You just turn it back on if you need to go further than 30 minutes. So that is what I love, love, love about it. There's also this beautiful little light. It has 2 settings of lights. I don't have it plugged in right now, so I can't show you, but it has light right under this handle. Oh yeah, it has a handle. It's pretty lightweight too. I don't know if it's 3 pounds. I think it's about 3 pounds. And it also has it's supposed to be a bottle holder. It can also hold a cup in the back. Over here in the front is where you attach your tubes. I am not thrilled with this. If I have to pull out a tube and put this little thingy in to stop it, to do, like I said, one side longer than the other, I'm not super thrilled with that, and I really hope that they never break. The good thing about Medela is that they do sell replacement faceplates, so that whole plastic front part that has those little things on them can be replaced for like 15 bucks. If this breaks, I need a whole new pump. So that is a downside. I really hope it never breaks. But yeah, not much you can do about that. So that is the Spectra pump. They have their tubing. And then I don't have Spectra parts on mine. These are the backflow protectors, which this is not actually how they look out of the box. I have, well, originally I hacked my Spectra for Medela. Spectra parts are a one size, what is that, like a one-piece horn flange, and they come with 24 flanges. I am not a 24, I am a 27, 28. And I don't like the one piece because it's just really hard. I just don't like it. So I hacked mine for Medela parts because I wanted to continue using my Medela bottles and my Medela adapters. I love duckbills, which come with the Spectra, and you can get replacement duckbills instead of the crazy Medela membranes and connectors or whatever. And I also use Pump and Pal's flanges, which are much more comfortable, and these are, I believe they're large size. It's the medium size they have, which is equal to like a 28, I believe. And so those just go into the Medela parts. And originally I had this all hacked up, but I decided to go ahead and buy, if I can get them off, these connectors for Spectra Medela parts from Maymom. It's just like maymom.com/Spectra, I believe. They were $6 each for each set, I believe. And you just put those onto the backflow protectors. The backflow protectors are these little plasticky thingies that supposedly keep milk from getting into your tubes and getting into your pump, which is why it's called a closed system instead of an open system, such as Medela. So, but as you can see, for some reason, Spectra's tubing and their backflow protectors don't stay on. So I took a piece of Medela tubing, or actually this is Maymom tubing, and stuck it in there because they kept falling off and it was driving me insane. So that's how I hook it up. The little connector adapter piece just goes straight into the Medela thing, and there you go. So that's how I use that on my Spectra. But like I would just say, this is a Spectra S2, by the way. I don't think I ever said that. The S2 it has your power cord adapter, which just goes into any plug. You can also use the Medela battery pack, car adapters, all of that stuff with it. The S1 is a little bit more expensive. It's blue, but it looks identical to this, and it is, except it has a rechargeable battery inside, so you can use it plugged in or walk around with it. I highly recommend the S2 to everybody. I will be using that as my main pump forever. I love it. So the next one that I have is the Spectra S9, and I got this for Christmas. And this is their small portable pump. It It has the rechargeable battery in it, so you plug it in to charge it, and then it's ready to go. It's a little simpler, as in it has the letdown and expression or massage modes, but it only has your vacuum speed that you can change. You can't change the cycle, which is fine for me because I don't really mess with the cycles too much. It has the time that it keeps up here and everything. You have your tubes, you have your backflow protectors, and I bought adapters for this one as well. I can use this with my same little setup over here, or I also have what are called freebies. And freebies, I don't have it connected here, but these are basically a bottle flange set that you just put into your bra. And if you have a good enough bra, it will keep it in place while you pump. And it has a little tube I don't have with me that would go in with your tube with your pump, and it holds 8 ounces, I believe. I'm not a huge fan of these. They have two sizes, 24 and 28, I believe. I have 28s in here. If I had a really supportive bra, it might be okay. I find them extremely painful because they keep slipping and they cause a lot of trauma for me. So I only use them in the car when I really, really have to. They are great for doing it in the car, but I don't use them at home. And I don't know if it's just not right now or I don't know. So that's Freemies. But the S9, I don't like it as much as the S2. I find the suction to be very much more like Medela. I don't feel the vibrating. I feel much more pulling, and I have to turn it up higher to get the same amount and do it longer to get the same amount. So again, unless I'm in the car, I'm going to be using my S2. And I just find it takes like double the time, and it's more painful, and it's just, some people love it. I'm personally not a big fan. However, I am glad that I do have it because, like I said, it is a great portable pump. And if I used it with my regular setup, it's not quite as bad as with the Freemies. The Freemies, just my slacker side does not like them. It really does not like them for some reason. So, on the S9, but definitely a thumbs up on the S2. And my very final pump here is the Medela Harmony manual pump. Now, originally I had bought a even flow manual pump on clearance, and I tried it once, and no way, it hurt so badly. I couldn't even use it. So I did go ahead and buy a Medela Harmony. Manual pumps are handy to have. Some people are very responsive to them, other people are not. I have not used it very much simply because I have wrist problems, and so it is very painful and tedious, and I am not very responsive to pumps in general, so I'm really not super responsive to manual pumps. But I do have it for emergency purposes. It has the flange where I put in my pumping paddles. It has this piece that has the little handle that attaches to. I've got my duckbills in there. You press it quickly up here at the top for letdown mode, and then slowly at the bottom for expression mode. So you just put that in your bottle. So this would be your setup, like that, and it has this little stand that you can put it in when you're not using it. It's fine. I think that as far as manual pumps go, that it's a very good one to have. It's a little bit more expensive. I got mine on Amazon, which is one of the cheapest places you can get it. I think that it's perfectly fine. It does work for me. It's just very exhausting, and I just can't use it too much. But I definitely think that it is one of the better ones, and a lot of people say it's one of the most comfortable ones. So those are my 4 pumps. I definitely am a huge fan of Spectra and their products, and not so much Medela, but I still do like Medela accessories quite a lot, just not a super big fan of their pumps. Of course, everybody is different when it comes to pumps. Some people are so responsive to them that in 10-15 minutes they have a complete pump done. Other people like me, takes a whole lot longer, 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes. And sometimes it's still not done at 60 minutes, but I cut it off there because I just can't possibly go any longer. You're supposed to pump till you're empty, which would be like only a few drops coming out every like 3 pumps or so. And honestly, I don't even sometimes get there, but for the sake of myself, I have to stop. A lot of pumping, especially exclusive pumping like I'm doing, is doing the best you can. And if the best I can is 6 pumps a day, 30-40 minutes each, that's what I'm gonna do. So that is the very quick comparison and what I think of each of my pumps. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Let me know what your favorite pump is and what your experience is, and we'll talk to you next time.